Okay, so the first thing that you want to start with, especially if your child is in the chronic state, like they won't eat anything. They're just eating one food, maybe just plain rice. They don't even want anything with the rice, or they just want fries, or they just want sausage. They can eat once in a day. Then I would advise that you introduce a probiotic straight away. The one that I recommend that I have used in the past. And you can get this off of Amazon. It doesn't need to be refrigerated the last time I got it. So which is a good part, because sometimes in the process of shipping that it becomes hard. That means you receive a probiotic that is not really good. Most of the strains are dead. So with this one is the BioGaia protectives. Sometimes the kids are eating, and so you can start with just changing what they eat, introducing some foods. But if the child is in this state, I would advise that you introduce a probiotic. Sometimes probiotics can be overdone to the extent that we introduce strains into our body that is not really compatible with us. You know, the whole thing of knowledge in this world. We sometimes abuse it. We are researching and exploring, you know, instead of just looking at what is right in front of us. So you don't want to overdo the probiotics. You want to do your research and see what best fits your baby. And they have for babies, they have for toddlers, they have for teens. So you can look into that. You can get it off of Amazon. I promise to make an Amazon store where I will link all the non-toxic things I use, the products in my home, my dishwashing liquid, everything that I use. Give me time, okay? And then the other one that I use, I wrote them here so that I can remember. I did not use this one, but it was recommended, is the Metagenics, Kids probiotics. So that's for kids as well. Now supplements also have one that I think at the time, the reason why I didn't go with now was because it had some fillers. So that's one thing you have to check with your vitamins, your probiotics and stuff like that. Sometimes it contains some fillers. You might find that your babies are too young for that. Other thing that I want to share with you is really just introducing foods. You know, these microbes, they are on raw foods. They are on foods that grow on trees. Let me put it that way. Like plants, things that you can see in nature. You won't find the microbes in the processed food. So that's one thing you can try in your home, to try and introduce more foods that you can see in nature. Like if you get your child is eating cornflakes in the morning, in the afternoon they come home and then they, instead of maybe a smoothie, they get fries. And then in the evening, maybe that's when they eat something heavy, but then they want chicken nuggets. You see, all these foods are like, where in nature do you find these foods? So they are over processed, they are dead. The only thing they do is fuel you, and they can give you some energy because they're normally like full of carbs, but the energy is the one that the carbs that burn quickly, it makes you hyper and then you crash. So some of these kids, you find out that they can be really hyper, and at the same time they can be what people say lazy. Your child is not lazy, they just need the right fuel to help their bodies. So that's something you have to pay attention to. Make sure you're feeding them foods that you can see in nature. I know at this stage your child probably will not chew stuff, and I'll get to that also. That's the third thing I'm going to talk about. For those who will not even chew, for those who are like texture and all that. So I'm still on the foods in nature. How you can introduce this is to smoothies. We are not going to be strict right now. Like right now I'm at a stage where I'm like, you have to chew food, because all these things that God made us to do is really important. You find out that kids that are really picky eaters and they don't eat, they have narrow, like their face is roundish because their jaw, they are not chewing anything. They are not building this part here. They probably did not suck on the breast, or even if they did, they were really weak. So it did not shape, it did not help them here. This part is very weak. It affects, there's just that. But at this point, I don't want to bother you with, oh, let them chew apple. No. You can blend the smoothies. The way I do with smoothies is that I put the sweet things together. I group the smoothie so that it doesn't disturb their tummy. The kids who are picky eaters also have digestive issues, so they might be usually constipated. It's all because of their digestive system. They don't have the right bacteria in their gut, and then they are not eating foods that will help them, because the food is what feeds the bacteria. So it's like it's doing two things. You are feeding the bacteria to be strong, the good bacteria to be strong, to take care of you, build your gut, immunity. And then at the same time, when it's strong, it tells you what to feed it. So when this good bacteria is dead, then it's not requesting. The bad bacteria are the ones that are requesting food now, and they want sugar and all those stuff. So yeah, smoothie, make popsicles. Sometimes what I'll do is I will blend and I'll make stew, but I will not cook it so much. Back home, we cook stew for 2 hours, like 1 hour. We are boiling and frying. I make it really simple. I know their taste buds, so you probably know your child's taste bud. Make it similar to what they want to taste. And you want to try to use natural seasonings, because the taste buds are also what is telling your child to eat the things they eat. So you are training their taste buds as well when you are feeding them. So sometimes it's because your child is used to Maggi, so their taste buds is just wanting all those crappy things. It's just the reality. I'm not calling you out or trying to be judgmental here. Like I said, everything I share is because I've been through it and I've learned. So you want to try to train their taste buds as well. Be very gracious to them and yourself. This is something that you're going to try and fail. Think about the fact that you are even doing something. What if you didn't do anything at all? So that's how I show myself grace, because look, we are doing something. I wouldn't have even known about this. So this is what you will, and then the last thing is the fermented food. This is like my favorite. I believe this is the one that made the biggest impact, especially for me, because when I had my first baby, I was not a healthy person. I have ruined my gut. From varsity, I ate all the crap I can. Like, what is healthy food? I started becoming healthy after school when I was learning about, I had this crazy period cramps. And then I started learning about, holistically how to help myself. And that's when I started learning about healthy eating and all that. But I still did not really, even the healthy foods I was choosing, they were processed, So my first baby was not, the quality of my egg was not there. It was just like, so like I said, your baby's health is preconception. The health that you have, you're going to pass some off to them. And so these fermented foods helped me so much. With Judah, I can see the difference from when he was born. I can see a huge difference. There were things that we did also when my first was born that we didn't do when my second was born. There are certain things that were recommended, the things they put here that I did not do for him. And so I believe that played a role as well, but I think mainly it's the food. Don't even stress about that at all. That is just our personal choice. I don't want to put it on you. But I believe the biggest thing is the food that you are eating, the food that you're introducing in your home. You realize that when you eat out, you are drinking so much water. That's because of all the sodium, all the Maggi, all the MSG. You are dehydrated, basically. People are like, oh, I'm drinking so much water, it's good. Yeah, if you drink the water, it's good, you're helping yourself. But think about why you are suddenly so thirsty. So a lot of the foods we eat is not appropriate. So let me put it that way. It's not appropriate for humans, and that is why our gut suffered. So the fermented food restored my gut. That's what I wanted to talk about. The fermented foods restored my gut in a way. I believe that I had leaky guts. I'm still healing. I had really bad skin. I still do. If you can see, the cameras make us look beautiful on here, but I believe you can still see my skin, when I take off my pants, especially in the dry months like winter, my skin will be literally like the scales will become, I did dry brushing, I did all the things, but it was just my leaky gut. I was, you know, one doctor was saying you probably have an autoimmune disease. That was when I was like, hey, girl, you need to take care of this thing, oh. And so the fermented food that I recommend that you do is the fermented vegetables. The fermented fruits like kombucha I used to do in the past are also good, but it's high in sugar. Sometimes you have to add black tea, which has caffeine, for the health of the, what they call the Scooby, the bag that, you know, causes the fermentation. And I don't know, I feel like I'm bloated when I eat the fermented drinks, when I take the fermented drinks versus when I eat the fermented vegetables. And I don't know, I feel better on the fermented vegetables. So that's what I would recommend for you to start as well. It's the cabbage is the easiest one. You massage. I believe all the fermented vegetables are pretty easy compared to the fermented drinks. But if you're interested in the fermented drinks, let me not put down the fermented drinks, because it actually helped me when I was getting off soda. Because when I moved to this country, hey, party, party. It was back to back to back. Like I was enjoying myself. There's like fast food everywhere. So a lot of soda, a lot of fast food, but the fermented drinks helped me to get off the soda. So let me not say they are not good. They are better than soda because they have live bacteria, good bacteria that helps you break some of the sugars and some of the things inside. Also because they are fermented, they are really high in K2, vitamin C and other nutrients. So yeah, it's still good. And when you make the ginger one, I have a ginger one. I think it's on this channel if you search back in the days. When I didn't have any kid, or when I had one kid, I used to make soap. I used to do all the crazy things. I make everything from scratch. So if you look in my videos, you might find that as well. And I hope this video helped you. Ask me questions if you have any questions. You can find me on Instagram as well, but on Instagram, I'm everything noble. Thank you for watching, and then I'll come back with another way of helping your child.